Thank you very much, guys. We got the 229 hitter and Zach Mora stepping up, face off against Jackal here in the top of the fourth. Since that 4 spot that they put up in the top of the first, a Westmont offense is quite dangerous, can strike at any given time. Brennan Jackal on the 1-0. That ball is turned on. We mentioned they can strike at any time, back towards the track, and it's caught with a one-hand brace against the wall for the first out. Good catch out there, good read by Arriaga. A good run, though, Moore gave it. Flips the lineup back to Weiserman, who's already 2 for 2 thus far, including that double to lead off the top of the first, and was the first run for the Warriors. Jackal's got the 1-0. Chasing downstairs goes Weiserman. Jackal spikes that one about a foot shy. We'll go to 1-2 now.
Yeah, typical 0-2 pitch.
Ball's hit well, and it's call it a 3 for 3 for Weiserman's now. He's got a single for the second time today. Good news, though, is he's not going yard on you.
He just kind of golfed that one to center field.
Squared around for the bunt, laid off. Good block there, trying the back pick. Good job by Schwartz, not letting that ball leave the infield. Westmont, one of the more aggressive teams on the base paths, and so you see Jackal check in on Weiserman's. 75 for 91 on the campaign. Haven't seen that much of that, though, so far this tournament. Not a lot of stolen bases for many teams so far. It's a very similar story to what we saw in the softball tournament. Teams were not trying to gamble as much, down to the nitty-gritty, and every runner that you get on matters. Westmont trailing behind Concordia and the leaders in that category in stolen bases, Jessup, who's 89 for 111, the only team to attempt over 100 swipes this season. Good frame job by Molina, snatching it back in. Soper, 0 for 1 thus far. Jackal checks on the runner one final time and comes in with a breaking ball that just misses high. We've already seen one double play turn by Point Loma so far. Another one here would be timely for the man Jackal. Good job pounding the outer half. Jackal. This ball is going to be turned on, a little jammer there. It's going to find Green in the middle of nowhere. Nice single there by Soper to battle off Jackal. Now brings up the ever-dangerous Bryce McFeely. He's 1 for 2 so far. Remember that 3-run shot that is still traveling back to Santa Barbara as we speak.
Yeah, thank goodness for those that net or that fence out there beyond left.
McFeely deep to left center field, making a double. Another 3-run shot for Bryce McFeely. Jackal does not finish off that 88-mile-per-hour pitch. It's 1-0, still have to deal with the here and now. A 1 out on the board, and this time does not have that double play to maybe be in the back of his mind. This ball's turned on well by Patterson. Just foul. As it stands, though, 7-0 ball game. 6 of those runs being driven home by one man in Bryce McFeely. Probably the most successful hitter in Westmont history, and he's proven that Westmont is a team that needs to be reckoned with in their first year of postseason eligibility. That's something that we haven't really talked about so far. They were on the probation year last year as part of their transition to NCAA, and obviously getting the fast track. They got the second year waived. They're able to compete in the postseason this year, and man, oh man, are they making their presence felt.
For giving them that waiver.
So 3-2 count now here, but you're exactly right. They are proving them right for giving them the waiver. Obviously, a lot more goes into it than just on-the-field success. Got to make sure you're crossing your T's and you're dotting your I's from an admin standpoint. Westmont did that, and their baseball team is trying to reward them here with a possible PacWest tournament title. Fouled back. Point Loma came into today hoping that their series loss earlier in March was a fluke, trying to prove that they're still the kings of the castle. But Westmont here says we're the new kids on the block. Gonna flash off the leather there by Bernath. It's a nice single there. And, oh, look, he's trying to turn it 2. They were a little lazy getting to the ball there, and he's in safely. Garden will hold off on that. Comet there. Jackal knows it is gone. The second he heard the contact, Jackal slammed his glove in frustration. 2 more runs come across for the Warriors.
Home run number 4.
Coach Justin James did not even wait for Dunn to cross the plate before he was halfway out the dugout. Pitching change on the PacWest Network. Westmont's bats are alive. New man on the hill for the Sea Lions is going to be the man from France. Kenny Esposito fires in for a ball outside, working against Bollinger. Kenny Esposito, the 6'2 junior, standing at 190 pounds. making just his 4th appearance of the season, and we were kind of talking about this during the changeover. Smart move here by Coach Justin James to go to a man who has seen limited action. That ball is going to be turned on just foul.
Esposito, see if he can settle things down.
Line out to third base, nothing doing there. Good job by Rodriguez, staying on his toes. 2 away now as Esposito retires the first man that he sees.
Don't see that very often, right? A pitcher from France,
No.
right? Went to Los Medanos Community College as well. Be interested to know more about, how Kenny Esposito got into the game.
DiMaggio, well, we know how he got into the game with a last name like that. 79, miles per hour. 2-0 now as he misses high.
See DiMaggio, and he says yes, he thinks there is some kind of distant family connection, but he didn't know what it was exactly.
Good gas there to speed him up. Esposito, we mentioned, just the 4th time he's pitched all season. He pitched twice in February and then had a long hiatus. Over 2 months off between appearances. This ball's going to be turned on. Down the left field. That's out of here! On a line! Holy cow! 111 miles per hour off the bat. Solo blast making it 10-0. Wow. DiMaggio says it doesn't matter which arm you put on the hill. I'm going to go yard no matter what. Esposito, just a blip on the radar for him, though, considering, what the score was when he entered the contest. But a 6th spot here in the top of the 4th for Westmont. Starting to lose track of who's gone yard and when at this point. Both these teams loving the long ball. Esposito, last time he pitched was about a month ago now, April 12th, against Hawaii Pacific. Pitched an inning there, struck out a couple, walked a man, gave up 1 earned. Longest outing of the season was actually his first, which was back on February 1st against Chico State. Check there, but it doesn't matter. It's in the zone for Hofstadler. Deuces wild here. 2-2, 2 outs. We load full. Just kind of selfish by Weisermans, who's hogging all the hits for himself. Turned into the glove of Rodriguez for the 2nd time this inning. But more runs come across Westmont. Another crooked number. 10-0. After 3.5, we'll go to the bottom here on the PacWest Network. It'll be Reese to lead us off here in the bottom of the 4th. J.J. Johnson alongside my man Scott Bemis. It's usually Point Loma who's blowing other teams out, as they have historically, especially over the last 3 seasons. A team that made a deep run to the World Series last year. Quickly head 0-2 is Brian Peck. But as you pointed out, it's Westmont's bats that are getting the job done as they bat it around.
You're facing Brian Peck, on the mound.
Brian Peck says good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 3 pitches is all he needs to retire Reese. Well, if there is a part of the order that you want to get your team going, it's this one right here. Jake Entrikin, he's 0 for 1 so far as the DH. Remember, Brian Peck has yet to allow another hit since the leadoff man in Bernath. But Entrikin, a very dangerous man of the dish. We talked about the grand slam he had yesterday. Filthy changeup there. Ahead 0-2 once more goes Peck. Slider snatch. 1-2. I think all parties involved want this game to go by quick. Point Loma so they can flush it and move on to Hawaii Pacific. Westmont so they can go to bed. And us so that we can go to bed as well. Entrikin to left center. It's hanging up in the air for quite some time. And it does drop, and we got a ground rule double as it one-hops into the shrubbery. By the way, for Westmont, the looking K that Brian Peck just picked up, they now have surpassed the century mark in strikeouts looking this season, 2nd most behind Point Loma. Not often you see 100 strikeouts looking, but Justin James for Point Loma, he knows pitching. Coach Svagdis, he just knows great ball all around. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Brian Peck has it working. The K artist in Peck, most in Westmont history, well over 310 career Ks. That number just continues to climb, putting distance between himself and whoever wants to even dare try and get at that number. Muffed through the wickets of Mora. Entrikin put on the late stop sign there. A little awkward turn at third. Runners on the corners were 2 away, though.
Not very often from a player like Zach Moore.
Schwartz digs inside. 0-1. Westmont has just been so steady throughout the year. They were trailing Vanguard in terms of lowest ERA in the conference, or best ERA, excuse me. This ball's going to be hit well to right field, and it will drop. Point Loma's on the board, courtesy of Schwartz. It was bound to happen. Loma finally shows signs of life at the dish. Peck misses. Runners on 1st and 2nd, still just a force away from returning to the safe confines of his dugout. The 1-0 is whiffed, trying to get the back pick. Yeah,
they
out of the glove. Man, umpire looked like he had the fist going all the way. Was about to say they got him, and then he unclenched those fingers and said he's safe. Dropped the ball in that exchange. Talking about Hofstadler earlier, one of the best catchers in the conference. Has the best stolen base allowed percentage at 65.5. Another one looking. Window shopping once again for Point Loma. Owen May, this time the victim of Brian Peck. Point Loma does salvage something out of the inning, just getting the one run. 10-1 is your score going to the top of the fifth.